are back in the kitchen today, and that is because we are canning up my absolute favorite kind of salsa, and that is roasted tomatillo green salsa. It is my absolute favorite. Not only do I use it for salsa, I also put it in my chicken enchiladas. So they are a green tomatillo chicken enchilada. Let's go over the ingredients first, and then we'll get it all cut up and we'll get it in the oven roasting. All right, the ingredients that you're going to need. Of course, you need tomatillos. You're going to need some pepper and salt to taste, 1 large onion or 2 medium onions. You're going to need some sugar, 2 full heads of garlic. Now, I don't like mine hot, so you can add as many jalapenos as you want to make it hotter, but that's all I'm going to use. And cilantro, and then of course limes. And you're not going to believe how I do these limes and put them into my tomatillo salsa. Okay, I have a secondary bowl here, and we got everything washed. You might have seen that I washed these lemons. I'll show you why here in just a minute, but for now we're going to get all of our tomatillos cut in half, our jalapenos cut in half, and get them on the roasting pan. Alright, we got all of our tomatillos cut up. Now I'm going to cut the tops off of some of these jalapenos, and then we're just going to roast them whole, just like that. So we got all those in this bowl. Oh, found one more tomatillo. Thought it was a lime. Alright, we got all of our tomatillos and our jalapenos and our little ground cherries are all in this bowl. And I had missed one ingredient when we were talking about the ingredients. Oh Lord. And that is a little bit of olive oil for the roasting. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in here. No, I need to get my onion in this as well. We're just rough chopping this onion. Alright, I'm going to switch bowls. This bowl is too full. It's not going to let me do everything I need to do in it. Let's put that in there for right now, because these need to go in here too. So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. Just a little bit. You can put as little or as much as you want. It's just to help with the roasting. Salt and pepper. I'm going to use my Italian sea salt from Malta. Now I probably will not add more salt because this salt is pretty strong. A big spatula. And now we're going to slowly just stir it all up. Alright, let's get this roasting pan over here. I hope that it is big enough. You know what I forgot to do? Warm my oven. Okay. Okay, I was afraid of that. We don't want to crowd our pan, because we want everything to roast, not steam. So we're probably gonna have to do this in a couple of pans, and probably, yeah, because I can only get 2 pans in the oven. So we'll probably have to roast the initial 2 and then do a 3rd one. So I grabbed this pan. I just roasted some bell peppers from the garden on here to can later, but it's like 1 jar, so it's not like it's a big thing because I froze most of them. Everything's in the way. You don't want it to be in the way. Okay. Okay, so you probably saw me wash these limes, and I said you probably weren't going to believe how I'm going to do these limes. Most people would just juice these and put them in their salsa. We're going to roast them and put sugar on top of them. So you're just going to cut them in half. If you've never had a roasted lime or roasted lemon, you are missing out. Now you know why I said 6 limes was plenty. Okay, so we're just gonna nestle these inside. I'll bring one of these pans over. We're just gonna nestle them inside the pans. Okay, that over there. Then we have sugar. Now sugar cuts down on acidity, and you definitely could avoid, you could not do this. You don't have to, you could just put salt on it, or you could not roast them. It's totally up to you. This is just my recipe that I've developed over the last couple of years because I absolutely love this salsa. So, and when I say a little bit, I mean just a little bit. In fact, we probably can do it this way. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. It's just going to add a nice little sweetness when we juice that lime. Okay, so we have one more thing that we need to get ready to roast, and that is our garlic. So everybody has their own way. This is the way I do it. Okay, I had to shut my camera off. It just overheated. So we have our 2 whole cloves of garlic. Now everybody has their own way of doing this. This is just how I do it. If you have a different way, you do it your way. We are gonna roast this garlic. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I don't remove the skin. And I'll show you why here in just a second. We're gonna cut the top off. Do not throw this top away. Do you see why I didn't peel off the thing? There's still more garlic in there. Try not to waste if at all possible. So I have just a piece of foil here. I have the shiny side in. We're gonna put that. Just make a nice little even cup, not an uneven cup. Just a little cup around it, and we'll pull it back open. Then we're gonna take our top. We're also gonna set that inside there. Olive oil, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And then a little bit of salt and pepper on top. Just like that. Now, these big cloves that are whole take 35 to 40 minutes, depending on how hot your oven gets. My oven is old and works slow, so we will do these for about 40 minutes. Then they're just gonna sit just like this inside the oven. I'm not gonna put them on the tray because they need to be in there longer. So let's get the next one done. So I have my setting in my oven on, it's convection roast at 350, and that's what we're going to roast all of this at. You'll have to excuse the toddler in the background. He's getting restless. So we're gonna let those roast. The tomatillos probably take about 25 to 30 minutes at 350. And like I said, I have it on the convection roast, so it roasts more evenly rather than the baking. And then the garlic that you saw me put in there will probably take 35 to 45 minutes. We'll check it at about 35 minutes to make sure. So once those are all done, I'll put it into the bowl and we'll get the third round back into the oven. Oh, smells amazing. All right, so everybody has made it home and it is going to be very loud. So we are going to take 2 bundles of cilantro, put it into the food processor and chop it up first. Okay, so we're going to take the rest of the contents and get those into the food processor as soon as I find my spatula. Okay, let's taste it. Just a little bit more salt. Oh, I have missed this. Okay, we got it all mixed up, so now we're going to get it all canned up. So we're going to be using our 4 jar lids again. And if you noticed, I didn't dip these in hot water, and that's because our contents in our jar is cold. So we'll be cold water bathing, which means we're going to put our jars into the water bath, hand tight on the lid. We're going to put our jars into the water that is cold, and we'll bring the water up to temperature. And once the water comes to temperature, which is just below a simmer, then we'll begin processing this for about 15 minutes. Okay, as you can see, I'm sticking my hands in the water because it is cold. It is just tap water that's in there.
Tap water, Nana.
Over the jars,
Nana.
water over the lids.
Nana. Nana.
Again, we're going to bring the water up to just below a simmer. Then once that happens, we'll begin the process. Hey y'all, I started editing this video and realized that I had not finished recording this video. Here is the roasted tomatillo salsa. I will leave this recipe down in the description below for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask them down in the comments. I am always happy to answer any of your questions, and I hope you enjoy this recipe as much as I do. This is my absolute favorite salsa. So if you are new here, you might consider subscribing so you can see more canning videos and garden videos as well, because that's where all this came from, was out of the garden. But until I see you in the next video, which I think is here, might be there, you all take care of yourselves, you keep your heads up, and more importantly, you keep growing. Bye-bye, y'all.